Okay, hi, welcome back once more. Now, from our earlier review in terms of our national credit qualification framework, where we saw different levels from level 1 all the way to level 10, just to be exact, to see how it was, maybe from level 1 to level 10, and how you graduate from PSLE all the way to masters, depending on where you're reached in your qualification. So from this level, at least we know we can place our qualification from any one of these levels, whatever qualification you've had, even if it's the lowest of all. Now, a quick one now is now to get to how BQA manages these qualifications, or how these qualifications are delivered based on different quality assurance. Like I mentioned earlier, BQA, which is the Botswana Qualification Framework, has a structure. The NCQF framework was the main structure to guide qualification progression, right? So the purpose is to monitor and quality assure that qualification. Now, from 2013, the Act of BQA Regulation 2013, the Act, which now has been in the process of implementation using different policies and transitions from 2016, now gave a layer. Now, this layer looks into, in summary, those experts that deliver the qualification. Number one, you may have trainers, teachers, or facilitators, right? In most cases, those are actually evaluated. Before, they used to be accreditation of trainers, but that was eliminated because one of the main reason was the key part of quality assurance is assessment and moderation. That doesn't mean they are not quality assurance. As part of the institutional audit, there has to be qualified trainers who must demonstrate whether they have a training skill or a training certificate or a training qualification. It's only now there is no accreditation as a trainer, but as an institution offering this qualification, they must make sure they have qualified trainers. I hope that is a little bit clear. All right, we may revisit this later. But now, accreditation and registration of assessors and moderator still remains with BQA. So that is a mandate that BQA has, because assessors who are the examiner and moderators who check the work of assessors need to make sure that they are up to standard, including their continuous professional development. So watch out that, so that if you're processing your training of trainers for the qualification part of it, or you're processing your assessor training as well as moderator training, you are a key role player in terms of quality assurance of the qualification, right? Now, on the other hand, we have what we call ETP, the education training providers. What do we mean? These are the institutions that deliver qualification. They fall under three main categories, which is conventional, consultancy, and workplace. Now, these are mainly registered and accredited by BQA, but you may see conventional, they are more of a higher scale, those with huge resources, both school. You can talk about your university, your colleges, talk about University of Botswana, Boto, Bust, mention all of them, GUC. They have high level of infrastructure. Consultancy may not have that, but they may have a key manpower or key skill providers who probably have a specific skill. That's why you may see consultants mainly offer advisory or offer short course training compared to conventional app, which may offer qualification. So that is something we may need to differentiate going forward. Workplace, they are more like conventional or broken down to consultancy, because they tend to offer sometime qualification, short qualification, or lower level certificate qualification, or maybe up to diploma if they can, but they are more classified under workplace, meaning because that institution have specific programs that align with that particular program. Mention the bank. Insurance may have their own program. Talk about in the mine, they may have mine specific programs. Also, we may talk about insurance company, talk about those workplace, including BRIs, Botswana Tax Organization, which may have their own in-house workplace, which deals with internal programs that are more related to that. So that category is what BQA tend to accredit institutions. So find yourself where you can fit in terms of if you're falling into this particular accreditation registration. Now, the third part, which mainly completes the regulatory framework and quality assurance part, is now the programs. What are these programs? Programs are characterized into two categories, that is credit bearing, which we call qualification framework or qualifications, which fall within the 10 level framework that we talked about, from PSLE to PhD. All these are qualifications. Name them: bachelor's, diploma. All these are full qualification, and you're going to see these are longer qualification with more than probably 6 months attainment. Now, non-credit bearing, on the other hand, are short courses. Now, these are short courses within a day to 1 week to less than 6 months that are zoomed in into upskilling. Now, you may see this being offered by consultancy. Of course, other institutions may offer, but they are more skill oriented or workplace oriented on the other side. So these are some of the things that you may need to note in terms of what we are looking at. Now, get to differentiate between the credit bearing and non-credit bearing, because it's very important for you to distinguish between them in terms of delivery. Now, on the other hand, the qualification, which is the credit bearing programs, are mainly accredited by BQA. That mandate is still with BQA, but the mandate for non-credit bearing programs was moved to HRDC right about the 1st of April 2021. It was initiated with BQA, but maybe because of capacity, long time processes of maybe programs, the short courses were handled to HRDC, who are the main human resource development managers who research about the human resource within a country. And because short courses are more of a skill and development, and of course one other element, which is called training levy, which is now managed through HRDC to empower employees within an organization, it was felt fit so that these programs were short course could be managed by HRDC, still being managed until now, and probably that is still continuing going forward. Okay, now a quick one on the other hand is now what we call the differences between the credit bearing and non-credit bearing. Just as we mentioned earlier, the two programs, if you see the qualification, they are mainly fall within the pathway of the 10 level. Full qualification, they are mainly accredited by BQA. They are more than 6 months in terms of delivery and qualification. Of course, they are more majorly linked to examination and assessment, where we call formative assessment as well as probably summative assessment. So the examination is a major tool where assessors and moderators are fully integral part, and of course they are credit oriented. You earn credit as you complete and as you transfer up, and of course they are mainly delivered by conventional school or workplace who have major infrastructure. On the other hand, non-credit bearing, you can see, do not really engage. These are subject oriented. They are not NCQA framework aligned. Of course, they are short courses for upskilling, approved by HRDC. They are mainly offered less than 6 months. Examination is not a major integral part, so assessment and moderator is not part, because more of workplace and probably workplace related. No credit earned in this case can be delivered with all the three aspects. So this is a part that I wanted us to look at in terms of what we mention in terms of how BQA may structure its accreditation and management cascading down. So see you shortly on the other aspect of the national classification framework. Thank you. See you shortly.